Hello, Tolford Alliance Church family, and welcome to spring and another update. We are looking forward to the time when restrictions ease, but we don't know when that will be. It can't come too soon. So in the meantime, we continue to gather within the allowed guidelines, and I'm grateful that now the weather is a bit warmer and people will be able to visit outside a little bit longer following the service. Information about the service, how to register, and the links for registration and links for streaming are online on our website and also an email version of this update. And with all of those, we continue to do all we can to guard the health of the most vulnerable, the screening and masks and hand sanitizing and distancing and all of those kinds of things. And thank you so much for your cooperation with what we were doing in that. Also wanted to remind you that for the past number of months, our church has provided a subscription to Right Now Media, and you may not have had time to check that out yet. If you haven't, I encourage you to do so. The links for that are in this email version of this update. Check it out, sign up, and take advantage of some of those great resources. Do you remember last year, our Good Friday service and Easter Sunday were completely online? Aren't you glad that we can gather in person this year? We're going to finalize the times of our services for Good Friday within the next week or so. We are waiting to see if there's any easing of restrictions that would change our capacity limits before we finalize those. But once we finalize those, we'll put those up online, and then you can register for those. If you want to prepare your heart in advance for those services, read through each of the Gospels, the ending chapters of those Gospels, and try and envision those events through the experiences and emotions of Peter. So that's Matthew 26 through 28, Mark 14 through 16, Luke 22 through 24, and John from chapter 14 all the way through chapter 21. This week we continue in our series, I Declare, Foundations of Following. Peter's most famous declaration did not come about by human understanding, but by divine revelation. When Peter said, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God," Jesus responded by saying, "And I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overcome it." Peter spent the rest of his life unpacking those two powerful statements about the identity of Jesus and about his own identity. As disciples, we too are invited into a lifelong journey of discovery, as we grow into an ever-expanding understanding of who Jesus is and who we are. Let's read those verses, Matthew 16 through 18. Simon Peter answered, "You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God." And Jesus replied, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you by flesh and blood, but by my Father in heaven. And I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overcome it." We often frame our faith in terms of believing certain truths, behaving according to the principles of Scripture, belonging to a new family of faith, and those are all important. The passage we're looking at this weekend alerts us to another dynamic of discipleship, and that is discovery. So thanks in advance for joining, whether that be in person